Knifedope. More dope. Come and get your figs. What's up, fuckers? Your boy's back with a fresh batch of dope. Knifedope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Got one today, or rather got two today that I was sent by a buddy of mine. Member of the community. Got a fantastic YouTube channel I can highly recommend. Talking about none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Roll Shambo. From Roll Shambo EDC. I call him Rolo. And yeah, he had a couple of knives in his collection that I wanted to check out. So we did a little swap-a-rooski. I sent him a couple, he sent me a couple. So I'm grateful to him for that. So we're about to dive into at least this first one. Depending on how long this video goes, we might dive into the second as well. Today's flex knife is this one. Recent acquisition. This one is the Spyderco PM2 with the Wave Emerson feature. Blade Ops exclusive. I love this goddamn thing. This is the first time I had ever experienced that Wave feature, and I am a fan. So much so that I actually decided to take place in a fierce competition with that same individual, Mr. Roll Shambo. He actually did a video on a video series called Pimp My Knife. And this was the knife that he pimped out. And he did a goddamn good job. You know I ain't gonna shit you. However, I will tell you that I feel my mod will be better. So I did order the accessories needed for this mod yesterday. So stay tuned for that. But enough about that. Let's get to the dope. Okay, this knife we're taking a look at today is the Winterblade Co Mirage. Now, full disclosure, I almost pre-ordered this knife, but there was one word in the description that steered me clear of it. I wanted nothing to do with it, and that was the word assisted. I'm not a fan of assisted knives, so when I heard that this had, this had what they call a magnet-assisted blade deployment, I was like, nope, not for me. However, things have changed drastically. You see, this is video 2, or rather the attempt at this video the second time. And the reason for that is I shot the first video. It was fantastic. However, I shot it recording with this useless device. This is what they call the Magic Mic or something like that. Magic Mic Pop or some shit. Pop Mic, something like that. Bought it on the IG store. And things seemed like they were going to be great. Filmed the entire video and 0 sound got recorded. So I will be sending this shit back as it is useless. Okay, let's get back to the important part, this knife. Now, like I mentioned, they talk about this being a magnet-assisted deployment. Also, this utilizes what they call the M-lock, which is a magnet-driven lock. And when you first hear that, you think, well, shit, how strong can the lockup be? Well, upon doing a little bit of research, very strong. You see, this has triple-shouldered blade stop pins, which are inside of this full spine polished steel backspacer. So there's actually 3 stop pins that are helping to lock up your knife. And as far as the assist goes, it's a very mild assist. If you pull this lever down, that's about as far as it goes. And so therefore, you can easily just flick it out, which is my preference, by the cutout. And if you do want to use that assist, you just got to give it a little bit of wrist. And then on your retraction, same thing. You don't have to you don't have to fight against a spring of any kind. It's just a magnet. So therefore, granted they call this an assisted knife, it is not what we're accustomed to. So that's a plus. Overall length on this comes in at 7 inches. We've got a closed length coming in at 4.1. Titanium handles here with a nice little bit of carbon fiber. I guess we're going to call that like an insert at this point. Pocket clip is right hand tip up carry. Now that is a rather robust pocket clip. I would have preferred a little bit more of a streamline, but I guess it goes with the overall aesthetic of the knife. We've got T8s on the body, or rather T8 in the pivot, T6s on the body. I would have preferred to see some T8s. You can see they kind of chamfered the edge there a little bit, It looks good. It really does. I think, to be honest with you, this is better than the Factor. I think this is more of a practical knife. I think the Factor as good as it is for its acoustics and, you know, the whole, it took the world over with the whole magnetic detent, you know, that technology. It's great and all that, but this right here, I think, is better. As a matter of fact, at the shooting of this video, these are still available. I think there's about 2 or 3 versions. They do come in at about $360, and they are OEM from Best Tech. We've got a 2.9-inch blade in M390. Now, some of the knives will come with 20 CV, which is essentially the same steel, just made by different companies. 2.75 is actually the cutting edge, and we've got a nice lightweight knife coming in at 3.3 ounces. Ergonomically, feels nice in the hand. Aesthetically, it's very attractive. I'm not sure if that's a black wash. I'm going with black wash. I don't think that's a, yeah, I'm going to say that's a black wash finish, but it could be like a DLC. But for all intents and purposes, we're going to call it a black wash. Let's put up a couple of knives for some size comparison. Basically, a little bit of knife flexing. You know how I like to do. First up, one with very similar design language as far as aesthetics goes and practical use. We're going to be looking at the Cavist invert. Now, the invert has not gotten the traction, as much traction as the Veritas, and I think primarily that has to do with the fact that this invert came out literally a week or two right when that Veritas dropped. But it's a great knife, and we can see that the Mirage is a little bit smaller than that. How about this one? Oldie but goodie. We're looking at the White Mountain Knives exclusive small Arian. Fantastic knife, fantastic value, and that is also a little bit smaller than the Mirage. Let's do a couple more, shall we? How about the budget banger of the year so far, or at least one of them? We're looking at the Miguron Mayoro. Mine was customized by that fine gentleman, Mr. Hungry Bird, otherwise known as Al. So we can see that the Mirage is smaller than that. Next up, a recent acquisition, one that I'm actually really enjoying, and that's going to be the Giant Mouse Ace Nazca. So once again, Mirage is smaller than both of these. Let's do 2 more. God damn it, 2 more. How about some American dope for your palate? And we're going to go premium on this one. We're looking at the Oz Machine Roosevelt, number 457 to be exact. And the Mirage is also smaller than that. Last up, gotta have some goddamn Spyderco in your life. And none better than this one. The Sage 5, lightweight rendition, rocking those gorgeous Parson Bladeworks scales. So yeah, people, if you had to choose between, or if I had to choose between the Factor and the Mirage, I'm going Mirage, man. This is a good one. It really is. So much so that if I didn't just spend $500 yesterday on another 2 knives for the channel, as well as some accessories, I might have picked this one up, you know? And I'll tell you, something telling about this is that you can find Factors on the secondary every day. They're always for sale. People are, you know, getting rid of them, trading them. But I have not seen, I think I've seen 1 Mirage on the secondary. So people are holding on to them for a reason, you know. I think Brian Winters crushed it as usual. Love everything he's doing. He is such an asset to the community. But more importantly, what do you think? Are you a fan of the Mirage? Are you a fan of Winterblade Co? Tell me all about it. Love you, mean it. Until the next time, cut something, cut someone, just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers!